Hey, 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 hey. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Oh my God, I'm so excited to be here. So excited. Parvenu, I see that you're here. Always, always on time. It's good to have you. I trust you had a wonderful day. Good evening. Good evening. Thanks for tuning in. Come on in. Take this link and share with your friends and get them to join. All right? Get your friends and your family members, your exes and your exes, get them to join because we're going to be having a wonderful conversation this night. I'm about to also invite my Facebook family and everyone that needs to know to come and join. So get ready for a wonderful session tonight. Get ready. Are you excited? I see that two persons are watching. If you're excited, please drop in the comments. Let me know where you're watching me from. Alright, so that we can get started. Apologies for coming 4 minutes late or 3 minutes late. Apologies for that. Good evening. 5 persons have joined. Keep coming, keep coming. Share the link with your friends. Invite people. Pavenu says, you look stunning, ma'am. Thank you. Doing okay, Jessica says, good evening, ma'am. Good evening, good evening. Thanks for tuning in. Have you invited your friends? Clever Chidera, I know this name. Thank you for being here. Adeif Emmanuel. This seems like a new face. Are you new? Is this your first time joining this conversation? Thanks for being here. Amarachi Isaac, I know you now. Yes, I know you. Thanks for joining. Big Dreamer from South Africa. Amazing. Thanks for joining. Jessica is watching from Enugu. It's good to have you here. Amari Bokwe. Wow, sis, good evening. Thanks for being here. Thank you very much. Please let me know where you're joining us from, all right? Tim Darlow is watching from Delta State. Good evening and thanks for joining. Chido Prince, I know you. I know you. Good evening. Ebere Chukwunenna is excited. I am also very excited. Like our guest tonight is fireful, like I wrote in the copy that I sent out. We are going to be having an awesome time. Yeah. Get your friends to join. Pavan is watching from Bayelsa. Wow. Wow. Please share on your WhatsApp and get everyone to join. I'm doing that also. Adefa Emmanuel is watching from Lagos. Amara Ibokwe is watching from Enugu State. My smile is contagious, really. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Just copy one thing I want you to do for me. Copy the link to this video and share with your network and get them to join. You don't want them to miss this session. Now, this is not me blowing the trumpet of this particular episode, but it's going to be the best, one of the best that we've had on this show because the conversation we are going to be having, the topic, and the person that is going to be taking us is just everything beautiful. So get your people to join. You don't want to gain this knowledge all by yourself because what's the point if you're the only one learning, right? There's no point. When others grow, you have less people to deal with. You have less ignorant fellows to deal with, right? So get your people to join, all right? Chido Prince is watching from Anambra State, and I'm all set for tonight's edition, right? You know it. Favour Chidi is watching from Adamawa State. Wow, amazing. See, I didn't even know where all my audience members were joining from. Wow, thanks for joining. Sylvia Marachi is watching from Edo State. Ha! More like all the states in Nigeria are all represented here. Okay! Wow, you're here. It's good to have you. Good evening. Please let me know where you're watching us from. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining. What Chidima says it's your first time joining Honest Conversations. Don't worry, you're going to be blown away. Just get seated, all right? I'm watching from Nigeria, but I don't believe it. well, I also don't believe that I'm in Nigeria too. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Abiola Shito says, I've been thinking of tonight's episode since Tuesday. I'm glad it's time. Yes, I know, right? I'm so glad that we're doing this. Now, first things first, I wrote something this night that I'm very excited about. It's also kind of emotional for me. So when I started out on YouTube, that was in March, we had just two persons who joined. Yeah, then at some point we got to three persons and four persons. Then we got back to even zero, and then to one and two persons in the first episode. But then, I decided that whether people joined or not, I was going to show up because I was tired of procrastinating and, you know, not showing up, not having this conversation. So when I finally moved to YouTube, I said, this is it. Whether anybody joins or not, I'm still going to show up. But then you guys kept on showing up every single Thursday, every single Thursday. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And today we hit 1,500 subscribers. Can you imagine it? Can you believe it? I mean, I can't believe it. 1,500 members on this community. It's just amazing. Just amazing. We've been having this conversation every week, except for 1 week that we didn't show. That was, I think, 3 weeks ago. But every week, we've been having this conversation every Thursday by 9 p.m. We have been consistently doing this. You have been showing up. I have been showing up. We've been doing this together. And this is the 20th episode of this conversation since we started. The 20th. It's so monumental. And I also didn't even think about it, how we're going to mark this 20th episode, but I'm glad that we're having this particular conversation on the 20th episode of Honest Conversations with Chinaza Favour. You know, I'm so excited to have you here. I'm privileged that you're doing this with me. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. Uday Emanuela, good evening. Please, many people have been waiting. Many first timers here. Start sharing the cookies and the zobo and the puff puff. Okay. So many first timers here. Let me see. Um, Ugo. Yeah, I know this name. Watching from Nigeria. Yeah, good evening. Who else? Abraham Brahms from Delta State. Good evening. Shamaki Williams. I hope I got that right. Good evening. Glad to be here. First timer though. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Vanessa Obasi. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Fizz David is joining from Lagos, Nigeria. That's our guest, y'all. That's our guest. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, already let us get started. Let us get started. If you are ready for tonight's session, please give me your fire emoji. Your fire emoji. Just let's set that comment section on fire. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Give us your fire emoji if you are excited to have our guest here. Just set that comment section on fire. Set the chats on fire. Let me see. See, if you don't set it on fire, I'm not bringing him more. I'm not even going to read his bio, not to talk of bringing him up. So set it on fire. Oh my God. I'm so excited. Yes, I can see your fire emoji. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. Yeah, yeah. More. Keep it coming. Oh, I see that. I see that. Our guest says more fire so they can bring me up, Biko. Oh my God. All right, all right, all right. Before everybody burns tonight, let me read the bio first before we continue. All right? Just get ready for the best and the longest bio of your life that you've heard. All right. As a growth marketing and digital marketing professional, Fee Steven helps brands within and outside Africa build digital assets, strategies, and marketing campaigns for peak profitability. This way, he lives out his passion to enable organizations maximize digital tools and platforms. Fee is one of the Facebook certified digital marketing associates in West Africa. He is also a Facebook certified media buying professional, discovery commerce specialist, community manager, media planning professional, and lead trainer. Yeah, you heard that right. He is a certified social media marketing strategist at HubSpot Academy, a Google certified digital marketer, a certified British project management professional, BPMB 1 and 2, and a SMEDAN certified business development service provider. Fee believes strongly that digital tools can help people and businesses become more productive and profitable. Are you feeling this bio? Are you feeling this bio? All right. This is why, over the last 12 months, he has trained over 1,500 people on digital marketing, digital product creation, branding, and digital productivity. He was awarded the yearly Star of Business as an outstanding participant of the USAID and MasterCard Foundation sponsored Young African Leaders Initiative Regional Leadership Program in Accra, Ghana. With over 6 years' experience under his belt, Fee has developed skills in expert digital marketing, leadership, web development, goal setting, financial management, project management, business growth, and technical consultation. He is alumnus of digital entrepreneurship from the Facebook Nigeria-sponsored Faith Foundation (AEP) program. He is also an alumnus of entrepreneurship and business finance from Kaduna Business School, a beneficiary of the Facebook Developer Circle Scholarship and the Udacity Mobile Web Specialist Sponsorship. Fee identifies with the 8th Sustainable Development Goal of the United Nations to create decent work and economic growth. He is a project lead at Elisha Maman International, an organization committed to leading and inspiring young people around the globe towards intentional living through its platform, The Winning Mindset. Yes. As the leader of the Winning Mindset team, Fee coordinates one of the fastest growing personal development platforms in northern Nigeria. In 2020, Fee continued his growth journey as a beneficiary of the Harvard Business School online scholarship. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, with a virtual clapping and standing ovation, please help me join me to welcome our guests, Fee Stephen Michael. Your clapping ovation, please. Please, please, please. If you don't clap, I'm not bringing him up. I'm not bringing him up. Give him a clapping and standing ovation. Oh, yeah, yeah, let's go, let's go, let's go. I'm excited, I'm pumped. Oh my goodness. Yes, I see it. Keep it coming, keep it coming, keep it coming, keep it coming. Here we go.
Hey.
Hey,
Yeah, hello, can you hear me?
we can hear you.
Oh, perfect. Great, great, great. Hi Chinaza. Hello everyone.
Hi,
It's
Steve.
it's
It's
so
such
great to
a
be here.
pleasure to have you here. Thank you very, very much. That bio was something else. Alumnus, alumnus, alumnus. Oh my goodness. And that was even you not trying to blow your trumpet too much because, guys, there's a lot more to this guy here than that bio could capture. Okay, so that is his own professional bio. Fee, I've known Fee for how many months now? It's been just an amazing journey knowing Fee. Like, and there is no other person that is more suited to have this conversation with me than Fee because Fee values relationships. Oh my God, I've seen the way you value, the way you nurture a relationship, the way you I know how much you value relationships. So when I was thinking of the person to have this kind of conversation with on relationships, I knew that no other person than the amazing Fee Stephen Michael. Thank you very much for agreeing to be on this show with me. Thank you, thank you. We're so happy to have you. Look at the comment section; it's just on fire. If I'm to
Let me check.
put everyone
Oh,
on here, we're not going to even go today. So we are going to be discussing the power of relationships and how to leverage relationships for growth. So I'm going to let you have the floor right now. Thank you very much, sir.
all right.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you so much, Chinaza. And it's good to be here on honest conversation with Chinaza. I've been talking about this conversation back end a lot. I like using it to talk when I'm speaking with Chinaza. It's a very, very exciting name. And I just love the way the concept is done and how she's able to come here and have heart-to-heart conversations with you guys. And it's exciting to be a guest on this show. All right. So before I go ahead, first of all, I want to say a very big thank you, Chinaza, for bringing me on board. This is like an honor I don't take lightly at all. It's something that I'm very grateful for, giving me a stage and allowing me to share with our audience. It's really really a huge pleasure. Now, anytime I have this opportunity, one of the things I think about is the journey that I went through when it came to building platforms. So anytime I have a opportunity to come on the platform, I see beyond the platform itself. I see the consistency you had to go through. I see the work you had to put in behind the scenes to get us to this point where we are, that people can converge and listen to something. So well done on that, and thank you so much for having me. So today we'll be looking at the power of relationships. All right, how to leverage relationships for growth. And I know that people said you were ready before, but I want to be very short. So if you are ready, I'm checking my comments on my mark here. So if you're ready, just go ahead and type "I am ready." Again, just reaffirm your readiness because this is going to be an amazing session. Fire, brimstone, everything in between. It should just be put together and given to you that way. Okay, so go ahead and type "I am ready" in the chat box. It will be an exciting conversation, trust me. Now, the first thing where I will start with is the fact that we are all products of relationships. That's like it's something that is, if this has not sat down well in your head, it will be difficult for you to know how important this is. We are all products of relationships. So, do you know that your current life right now, the current level status, all right, of your life would have been extremely different if you were born into another family? Because that's like your first relationship. Your first relationship is that family you were born into. There are some people that the only reason why they are where they are right now is because they were born and they found out that, oh my God, my father is a $10. Wow, what a huge, huge privilege, right? And that's the reason why they are where they are. And they can't apologize for it because it is what it is, right? But that relationship has moved them, has given them some levels of access, some levels of authority, some things to leverage that they can work on. There's some other people that the only reason where they are is because they were born into a family somewhere in a village, and that's like the first stage. So that first relationship is a relationship that starts your building process. Every single one of us, including myself, we are a product of the kind of family we came from. I remember I didn't know I would say this, and this most times when I start like this, I know that the person that invited me prayed before inviting me, because sometimes when things just start coming up inside of you to say what I didn't plant in your book, you know that the person has already drawn drawn from the spirit, right? So yeah, so I remember I was having a conversation. This was almost an issue for me. So there was a time in my life when every time I went into Kaduna, right? I was in Kaduna and I met my mentor, Elisha Mamran, one of the most phenomenal relationships I've had. I'll probably talk about it again. I was in Kaduna and I met my mentor, Elisha Mamran. And after a period of time, he found out that things that would motivate other people, especially money, was not motivating me for any reason. Like, he would want to do something and he would say, oh, okay, let's do this. Okay, this is going to be, for example, a paid program, for example, that is, of course, adding value to people, but at a price. And even if there is going to be a reward, all right, for me being a part of that, or being one of those that really pushes for that to happen, I'm a bit laid back when it comes to money. Like, you can literally give me amounts of money that can make someone, there's some amounts of money that will enter into your account that, for the next 2 nights, you'll not be able to sleep. You'll just, around 2 a.m., just wake up and just check again. Is it still there? Have they have they removed it or not? Right? So those things did not move me at all. And it became an issue. Do you know why? For some people, it may be a good thing. Okay, this guy is not moved by money, he's an honest guy and stuff. Now, that's the good part. But the bad part was, I wasn't driven to make money. I wasn't like, of course, I wasn't as financially comfortable. I don't want to use the word, rich, because my benchmark for rich is still very, very high. So I wasn't as financially comfortable as I am right now back then, right? For lack of a better word, I was maybe broker in quotes back then than I am now. But I wasn't driven for money at all. I wasn't driven at all. And when we looked back, and when he had a session with me, because remember that time he called me and then we had a conversation about it, and he's my mentor, so we had to go back and see what was the cause of all this. And I found out that it was because during my process growing up, all right, at home, we were trained in a way that there can literally be, like, we were trained to have access. Okay, I wasn't coming from a home that is, in quotes, wealthy, in quotes, buoyant, but basics were taken care of. And then there was availability of, there can just be cash anywhere. For example, there can just be, it doesn't have to be much. And by cash, I mean, it can be 50 naira, it can be 100 naira, it can be 500 naira, but you will be seeing money in the house. But you are not, as children, we are not driven to take it. So I was already brought up in a way that I was already exposed to money, not money that is for me, but just money in the house. So money is literally scattered, not much money. Maybe it can be 100, like I said, it can be really little, but money was not a sacred thing that was kept and just brought out from the secret place as if it's an anointing and stuff. So it was available, kind of. And because of that, my relationship with money did not, it wasn't something that was weird. So when I see money, I'm not moved. I'm not, my attitude doesn't change because of money. What I would have done if the money was not there is really the same thing I would do when the money is there. In fact, when the money is there, sometimes I even do less just to show you that I'm not doing this for money. That's this small picking pride, right, back then. But but yeah, that is something that my relationship back then did for me. And I've not even started my this thing. I'm beginning to gist you guys. Chinaza, this is not going well. So yeah, this is it. So after that, after we noticed that, right, we had to rework that wiring. And I had to come to a realization that although money is not the object of my focus, it is necessary for my operation in the realm of men. I needed to make money. So that was when some people saw when I put out my first digital productivity session back then. That was the reason. In fact, it was in my mentor's dining table that I wrote out the first post for that session, and I charged, I think, 2.5 or so. It was just, my mentor said I have to do an activity that makes me earn money. I have to learn how to charge people for something. And I had to do that, not because I needed the money. In fact, if you see the way I was selling that first one, I was just like, if you like, buy, if you like, don't buy it on your own. Right? But then I had to do that. Why? Because I needed to rewire that thinking. I needed to rewire that mindset of money I already had. So that relationship with my parents, although I did not know at the time, it formed the kind of person that I was. And if you think back, there's some of you that are not even aware of the kind of programming that has already happened just because of the family you came from. Some of you are not even aware, you have no idea of the kind of mental models, the kind of mental programming that has already happened in your life just because of where you're coming from. So you are a product of relationships. Subtract one relationship you had and add another one, and your life can be like, the difference between your current life and the life you have after you do that mathematics can be as different as night as day. I would say I've been very pretty with relationships, right? So that's the first point. Know that your current state, think back and say, where I am right now is just a simple product of my relationships. Relationship with my parents, my friends, my environment, the people around me, the resources around me, and things like that. Okay? So that's the first thing. Now that you understand that point, the next thing you need to know is Since you now agree, or since you now realize that you are a product of relationships, let's talk about people relationship now, because there are different kinds of relationships, but let's talk about people relationships a bit,
Mm-hmm.
right? The next thing that is important to note is that people are multi-dimensional. Do you get that? You can write that down. People are multi-dimensional. One person can be a father to someone, can be a brother to another person, can be a husband to someone, can be a boss to someone. The same person, though, the person has not changed. We're talking about the same person. Let's give the person a name. You're supposed to give me a name. Let me make this more practical. Let me check the chat box. Give me, if you don't give me a name, I'll take one of your names, right? So just give me a name. I'm checking the chat box to see if I can get a name. So give me anybody's name, a male's name, right? Of course, men supporting men. So give me a male's name. I won't use a female's name. Uche, yeah.
Ebuka.
Someone give me Uche, okay? So
Okay.
so let's use Uche for example. So Uche is a man. So first of all, he's a person, right? But he's a husband. Give me a second. So he's a husband to one person. He's a father to his children, right? Are you following? He's a brother to his
Yeah.
brothers, of course, his family people. He's a boss at his place of work. The same person, Uche, is still Uche we're talking about. So Uche is a boss at his place of work. Do you know that Uche can also be a worker to another person? I've used okay, but since we've already used Uche, let me just be consistent. Okay, Garrett, your name is coming soon. So even if I need to manufacture another story just to use your name, okay, I must use your name in this session. So yeah, Uche, Uche is, where would you stop? So he's even a worker to another person. He's a boss to someone else, but he's also working for someone else. So to Uche, the same Uche is a worker. The same Uche is what again? He's a pastor in church. All right? He's a pastor in church.
Yeah.
The same Uche can be a leader in house fellowship. So the same person, but these are different dimensions of that person. Every single person, including you that is watching right now, every single person is multi-dimensional. This is something you need to know. If you know this, you would then be able to be intellectual and deliberate about tapping into specific dimensions of people. I want to go a little bit deeper, but I don't know. Let me see. Let me
Go
try.
deeper, sir.
Now
Go
follow
deeper.
me, okay? Don't go, don't get lost. Just follow me. So I was listening to a particular message, and for the first time, I heard something about what is called what is referred to as the faces of God, right? So somewhere in Revelation, I think someone can get it for me. So there's a part of Revelation that says that in the presence of God, there are four beasts, right? There's a beast with the face of a man. Now, note how Revelation can be for those that are Christians here. Revelation, if you read it at night, you may, you may not sleep well. So, so there are four beasts. I think Revelation chapter 4, Revelation 4, verse 7. Someone should check 4, verse 7 and put it in chat box for me. So, there's the face of a man. There's a beast with the face of a calf, the face of a calf. There's a beast with the face of an eagle. All right, face of an eagle, and there's a beast with the face of a lion. Yeah, so a lion, a calf, an eagle, and man. So these are dimensions that when God is relating to an extent with people, these are dimensions that he relates with. So man represents something, humanity, right? Lion represents something else, calf represents something else, and eagle represents something else. Now, I won't go too deep into this so we don't get out of the conversation we're having and going to, yeah, thank you. This is it. Yeah. So faces, different expressions, multi dimensions. I know we're created in the image and likeness of God. So every single person has dimensions. If I relate with someone, I am relating with specific dimensions of that person. That's why the same person can treat two people differently. I and Chinaza can be friends to someone or can have a relationship with someone, and the person will treat both of us very differently based on the dimension of the person we are relating to. So this is what you need to know. The power of relationships. What dimensions of people are you trying to get some sort of relationship with? There are people that relate with me as a mentor. There are people that relate with me as a friend. There are people that relate with me as a colleague. There are people that relate with me as a mentee. I have mentors, of course. So it is different. And there are different ways to relate with that. So what dimensions? The first thing you need to do if you want to have a relationship that makes sense is identifying the dimensions that the person you want to have a relationship with carry, and know which of those dimensions you want to have a relationship with. So you have the relationship with the person, but you're intentional about which of these dimensions of this person am I creating a boundary with. Because what happens sometimes that even spoils relationships is you have a relationship with a person and start with a dimension, and because there's no boundary in your dimensions, you exceed that and get into a dimension that can hurt you. So you start from a particular dimension that is safe, that gives you value and gives the person value. But then because you were not aware, there's no awareness, there's relative ignorance that there are several dimensions of this person. You exceed that dimension that is a safe zone or that gives you mutual benefits or mutual value, and you go forward into a dimension that hurts you. And this works. This is something that happens in a lot of places. So what dimensions are you relating with? Okay. And then the last thing I'll talk about before I think it becomes a conversation so that Chinaza can come up is probably two more things. One of them is that relationships are not assumed. Write that down. Relationships are not assumed. You don't assume a relationship. There's a I don't know the verse. So probably someone can look for it for me. There's a part of scriptures that says that so many people will come to me on that last day and say, Lord, Lord, did we not cast out demons in your name? Did we not do this in your name? See that type of thing. And what did Jesus say he will tell them? I don't know you.
I
I
know
don't
you
like
not.
who are you? I have no idea. Which username did you use while you were doing that? How did you do it? Because I have no idea who you are. So some of you're assuming relationships. Relationships are not assumed. Relationships are not assumed. It is clarified. You have to be clear. And why I'm saying this is so that you don't, because sometimes we get frustrated, we feel bad, even people that don't even know that you exist, you're hitting them, you're saying this person, I sent him a DM out of his 2000 DMs, why didn't he respond to my own? And you're just angry for nothing. It's not assumed. You have not gotten to that point yet. And it's okay. It doesn't make the person a bad person or make you a less valuable person. No, please. And I said this earlier. Do not feel bad. Your worth, your validation should not be that maybe someone accepted your friend request or someone responded to your DMs. I can almost promise you that the day you will get to the level that person is, you'll become more empathetic to the person. In fact, you'll be like, no, that person tried. He didn't respond to me, but he tried. Because when you start receiving the levels of DMs that some of these people get, I have not even started and I know what I'm going through. Okay? When you get to that level, you'll be feeling for them. You just go to that DM and say, oh, you tried. I love what you did to me. Thank you. Because it's not easy. You have no idea. Okay? So don't assume relationship. If you want a relationship with someone, try to reach out. Try to attempt to reach out. And I think I'll end with that. How do you reach out? How do you really create a relationship that you can leverage for growth? Because it's not a relationship leverage for growth. This is why I said relationships are not assumed. Because some of you would see someone that is going higher and just call the person out of the blue and say, oh, we were classmates in secondary school. Yes, that is true. And so, because as at the time when people were classmates, that was the only level of relationship you formed. There was nothing else. But how do you create a relationship you can leverage? A relationship that you can leverage. And let me start with this. Before you say, oh, I want to create a relationship I can leverage, first of all, accept that you are going to be leveraged. If you have not accepted that you will be leveraged, don't say you want to do leverage. No. Because leverage happens in both ways. It happens in two ways. Once you say, I want to create a relationship I can leverage, accept that you are ready to be leveraged too. And how can you create a relationship, or how can you reach out and establish a relationship that you can leverage? The word is value. That is the word. The word is value. See, there are many things we can talk about, but it boils down to this: value. And how do you really, some of you will be thinking, "God, I don't, how, which value do I want to go and give John Maxwell now? What value should I give John Obidi?" And you're already thinking this word. I've been hearing about it, but how can I give value to these people? There's always a way. Now, this is it. When it comes to value, there are values that every single person has. All right, there are specific values that every single person has. As far as you were born, okay, the first value that you were born with once you came to the realm of men is the value of time. All right? The value of time is the first value that you were born with when you came to the realm of men. Time. That's the first value. There are people that they literally don't have anything, but once you're alive, it means you have time. If you're alive, it means that you have time. All right? So someone should write that down in chat box. The value of time. Time is the first value. So if you don't know what to give anybody, give the person your time. How do you give people time? There are several ways. So there's the way of, for example, if you're learning from someone, all right, you want to read books. Reading of someone's book, for example, is you giving time to the person. Reading of books is you giving time to someone, all right? So that's the first value. Value of time. All right, can you still hear me? Hello, can you still hear me? So let me know in the chat box if you can hear me. I can't see Chinaza at the moment, but I want to believe you can still hear me. So the first value is the value of time, okay? How do you give the value of time? Everybody has this value. Once you are alive, trust me, you have time. So how do you give the value of time? Some of you are in this session right now. I'm seeing names. Chinaza is seeing names. What do you think you're giving? You're giving time. If I pick up a book, let me try and check my list of books, right? Let me say I pick up this book. All right, so let me use my mentor's book. So this is a book by my mentor, The Business of Life by Elisha Marmon. Some of you can get this book after now. I think there's a link where people can buy it. That's okay. You can reach out to me and I'll send that to you. If I pick up this book and I read this book, I am using time for this. I am giving the value of time. Okay, I just checked the comments to be sure people can hear me. I can see that you can see and hear me. Great. So I'm giving the value of time to read this. Some of you say, "Oh, I want a relationship with this person." You would see, I'll be speaking here, and you're like, "Oh, I'm very busy," and you're watching Game of Thrones, or you're watching a movie, you're watching this, or you're doing this, or you're not doing anything that is really beneficial. It's okay if you're genuinely busy, right? But if you want to have an intentional relationship with someone, you must be able to give the person some sort of time. As far as you are alive, you have time. The second value, before Chinaza comes in, I'm hoping she comes in soon because we're supposed to have like a Q&A. So the second value is the value of energy. I know why I started with time. There are some of you that, for example, do you know that for someone that was born and maybe there are people that were born, but they were born without limbs, right? There are people that were born without limbs. There are people that were born even without legs, for example. That can be relatively not so fair, right? And so other people have been able to make do with that and even achieve great things. But you can say that their energy level is not the same with someone that was born complete, right? But then everybody has some form of energy. So the first value is value of time. The second value, you can write that down, the value of energy. Energy is the ability to do work. If you're alive, if you're here, you have some form of energy. It's under energy that things like volunteering comes in. If you want to create a relationship with someone, you must be able to somehow give the person some form of energy. Some of you shared this flyer, for example. That is you giving out of yourself because it's some form of energy. Some of you, you volunteer. There are some people that volunteer to help me out with my digital business bootcamp in Lagos, and they literally owned the entire event. It was led by Cassandra David, right, the team lead. And I had an amazing team, a lot of amazing people. There was Chisholm Jane, there was a lot of people, Stephen Ezekiel, and a lot of these people that just came and took the entire thing off me and served. Do you know that those people have gotten a level of access to me that is unprecedented? Why? They gave me the value of energy and time. So the first value is time. The second value is energy. So you can give energy and time together. The third value, and the one that some of you don't like talking about, is the value of money. The value of money. So the value of time, the value of energy, what can I do for this person? How can I use my strength, my skills, my ability for this person? Then the last one is the value of money. This involves exchanging cash, physical cash, not I'll pay you with exposure. No, actual money with people that you want to have a relationship with. So it can be in several levels. Some of you may not be able to register for the goal setting masterclass with Elisha Mama, that is 25,000 naira, or his private consulting that is 250,000 naira, but you can buy his book. His book is, I think, 2,500 or 5,000 thereabouts. You can get that. That is money. You are exchanging money, the value of money for something. Some of you may not be able to, enter a private class with me for 250,000 naira, but if I have a smaller course of, say, 10,000 naira, you can be a part of it. That is actual money. There was a time that I made a list of people I wanted to have a relationship with, and John Obidi was like the top of that list. And I think a few weeks after that I made that list, he announced a session and said, early bird 45,000 naira. I literally didn't think it twice. I looked for a way and I made that payment. That is, so some of you will be like, oh my God, fee, John Obidi, how come fee is this? No. It started from somewhere. I first paid for access, and then when I got access, then I showed that I had sense. That's the second thing, because value is, don't just think of the value you will give, because I'm talking about value to give. I'm about to transition into value you must have, because you can't give what you don't have. So when you're giving time, you're giving energy, you're giving money, you need to first have these things. All right? So be able to pay for access. Do you want to have a relationship you can leverage? Pay for access. It's a powerful way to get high level. I value relationships a lot. So if someone in my circle is doing something, if I can be a part of it, if I can attend, I will attend. If I can't, I would at least look for a way to contribute to it to an extent, just to encourage that person to say, okay, I support you. I'm not just someone. And this is what happens a lot. Do not just be another name in the room. Do not just be a number. I tell people, do not be a statistic. Don't say, oh, we had 100 people that attended this program and you're just one of the 100. No. Don't just be a statistic. Make sure that anywhere that you are able to be significant. And how do you do that? By using your value, okay, leveraging your value to get access to quality relationships. So the question is, how can you give the value of your time? How can you give the value of your energy? How can you give the value of your money to access relationships that you can leverage for your growth? I think I'm going to stop here, Chinaza, because I'm seeing that I'm supposed to do like a 30-minute session now. I'm already seeing 40 something minutes. So I think I'll just pause here and then allow you to just take it up from here. Yeah. Chinaza, this one you're shaking. Can you hear me, Chinaza? Are you sure? Okay.
I can hear you. Oh my God, guys. What just happened? That was like a baptism of fire. My goodness. My goodness. So many dimensions of relationships that I didn't even think existed. And I'm so thankful that I brought you on here, Sarah, because you just opened my eyes to different realities. What shall we say to him? What shall we say to him? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Before we go into the question and answer session, if you have any question, drop them in the comments. Our guest is right here to answer every single one of them well, as if they're valuable enough, of course. And also, before we go ahead, take this link, share with your people, get them to join. You see what you've gained just within how many minutes. I'm so amazed at how you're able to compress so much in such a little time. Like you the value was so concentrated. Every drop was every drop. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. And take our time also to like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and invite your friends to join because it's about to even get
Thank
hotter. Stevie, thank you. Thank you again for agreeing to do this with me. The comment section is on fire. It's Thank you, sir, everywhere. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. We celebrate you. So while you were talking, you said something really, really important.
you. Yes.
And it's so true that every individual has different dimensions to them. That was a
Yeah.
very valuable point because when we see people, we just want to relate with them. And we don't even know the dimension of them that that we want to relate with, right? And because of that, many people just end up expecting a relationship to be a certain way. Maybe you're expecting a different dimension of me. Meanwhile, it was not communicated, and that was why it was necessary that relationships are not assumed. That was why it was necessary that there's a clarity in relationships. Because many people have also I've gotten into several relationships I didn't even know I was in. Yeah, so many of them. And I've been called so many things that I didn't know I I wear so many caps I didn't know I was wearing. I've won coach even before I became a coach. I've won mentor to many people that I don't even know. I've won brother and sister. I've won sister to people I don't even know. And because they were able to label me to that kind of to put me in that kind of label, they expect me to behave to them the way they have labeled me, even without me knowing about it. Right? And it's creating friction because you are mad at me for not behaving a certain way. I don't remember establishing this kind of relationship with you in the first place. Right. So it was necessary that you made that point. Clarity in relationships. Thank you very, very much. And there was something else that you said that I want to point out too. Um, that relationships are not assumed. Okay, we've already talked about that one. So can we talk about, I wanted to ask you questions on how to foster relationships with people that are higher up, and you just did justice to that. People think that someone that is higher up there should have leisure of time and resources. So every time if they want to relate with someone, they just send a DM. Please, can you mentor me? And I don't know why people keep sending those messages. Please, can you be my mentor? Please, can you mentor me? I love what you do. Can you mentor me? Mentorship does not come that way. Really, it doesn't. You have to be able to be willing to pay the price of that access. What can you give? And also, when people hear mentorship, it's all about what I can get from this person instead of what I can give. What value can I actually give in this relation? What value can I provide to this person? And if we're being truthful to ourselves, we are very selfish. Can you be my
Yeah.
mentor? Is can you give me all your time and resource? That's what they actually mean. And not can I serve you? In what capacity can I serve you? And they don't understand that service is the best way to actually get into any circle. So thank you very much for mentioning um, that you can give your time, you can give your energy, and you can give your money,
Yeah.
right? And so many people will be like, I don't have money, but you have other ways that you can serve.
Yeah.
You want me to mentor you. I don't even have a mentorship program to start with, but you want to get closer, and you've never shared any of my flyers. You've never told anybody about this person. You've never invited anyone to anything that I do. But you inspire, like I inspire you, and you want me to mentor you. How now? And when I visit your profile on social media, there is nothing that shows that you are someone of value that I would want to relate with. So it doesn't really work that way. And also, when people send me messages, they want to collaborate with me because we're still going to come to collaborations, right?
Yeah.
But they want to collaborate with. Someone sent me a message some time ago, last week. Her proposal was very beautiful, and I was almost getting to the point where I would say yes when I said, let me just visit your profile and see what you're doing already. And when I visited her profile, there was no single thing on her profile. Everything I saw there were shared articles, NSPPD, I think that's what it's called. Um, my pastor, my reverend, people's tags all over her profile. And I was like, I told her I was inclined to accept your engagement or your proposal, but I'm sorry, there's no activity on your profile. So when you want to, I think it's important that when you want to connect with someone, especially on social media, you have to have a sort of social proof. Like you have to have some activities going on your own, so that when this person maybe gets to visit your profile, they see something. Because a mentor told me that when I used to comment on his posts, he visited my profile because he was, who is this person that's commenting like this? So intelligent. Visited my profile and was like, okay, okay, I see something is going on here. And that was how he got to know about me even before we ever talked. But somehow that was able to show him, okay, this is someone that would require or would deserve to be listened to if anything comes up, right? So you
Yeah.
have to be someone of value, like you said before, um,
Mm.
any other thing. Thank you very much for
Yeah.
that. So, what would you say to people who think that they don't need anybody to grow? Like they are loners, right? They don't
Okay.
feel that they need people to escalate. They think that being good at what they do is enough, their skill, their expertise is enough to get them to where they need to go. What do you have to say to such people?
Okay. A couple of things, right? But first, before I go into that, let me just make a little comment on the last point you raised about starting something for yourself before trying to, get some sort of collaborations with people and things like that. See, there's
Mm-hmm.
this of there's this part of the Bible that people have, quoted in several ways, and it's the one that says one which is 1,000, two which is 10,000. For some reasons, I see people just leave the first part and focus on the second part. Two will chase 10,000, right? So let's come together and chase 10. But you have not chased your own thousand. Like there's no thousand here. Here's your thousand. So it's a combination of people that have chased their thousand that are able to
Yeah.
chase 10,000, right? So that's exponential growth comes when individuals have grown themselves. So when two individuals that have individually grown come together, there's a possibility for exponential growth. So you don't come together and start getting angry at yourselves. I was even doing better when I was not with you. It's true because and you're saying the truth, and you just be angry, and you have an
Yeah.
unnecessarily sore friendship with each other. So please, where you are right now, try to add value to yourself. It's not the same things I said that you should give to people to get relationship with them. Give it to yourself. So give yourself time, give yourself energy, give yourself money. Please pay for things for yourself. Invest in yourself. That is the
Yeah.
way you grow. Because you also need a relationship with yourself. If there is no relationship with yourself, it wouldn't have been someone that is as intelligent and sound as Jesus would not have said, "Love your neighbor as you love yourself." That means there has to be some sort of love. I had a very profound statement that I didn't understand at first from my mentor. And he said that the first requirement for personal development is love.
Mm.
My internet. Can you hear me now? So my mentor, Elisha Maman, he said something. He said that the first requirement for personal development is love. And I was like, uh, what did you just say? Like I was trying to understand it, and I saw a bit of a loading screen on my screen to be sure that you can see me. Please let me know if you can hear me. Can you
Hey guys, can you hear me? I think what happened to me early on is happening to Fee now. I think that is very powerful. Now you see how some scriptures that we thing that we know can be applied to different fields. One can chase 1,000, two would chase 10,000. You're not even chasing your 1,000 and you want to join with someone else to chase 10,000. Who gave you strength? Where did you get the strength to chase 10,000 when you couldn't chase
Okay.
1,000 on your own? You're welcome back, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. I think the internet wanted to come again, but it's fine. Yeah, so let me move to the next point. I was going to talk about what's the question? You asked something about can you just come again with that question? Let me I was going to segue into that train of thought. The question you just asked before I went off.
Okay, I was asking, what do you have to say to people who think
That
that
you don't
they
need
can
anybody.
grow in alone? Yeah, they can
Yeah.
actually go far on
Okay.
their
All
own.
right. Great. Yeah. So this is it, right? First of all, you need to first understand you need to understand the weight of leadership.
Your network is a bit
There,
shaky. Your voice is not clear, sir.
okay, all right, hold on. Let me switch to an alternate network. Can you hear me a bit better
Okay.
now? Is it better now?
Uh,
Is it better now, or is it still a bit shaky?
it's still a bit shaky. Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let me just switch. Give me a second. Give me a second. So just hold this for me. Let me do a quick switch.
Okay. So while we wait for him to join, how do we? Is it not funny? Because this happens in relationships, like in romantic relationships too. You're not happy with yourself. You've not been able to work on yourself, and you're expecting someone to come and give you happiness from nowhere, right? You've not been able to do the work. You've not been able to find happiness within yourself. But somehow you expect someone else to come from nowhere and bring all the happiness in the world to you. Don't you think that you're like being a parasite because you're not bringing anything to the table? Actually, you're both supposed to make each other happy. You're both supposed to come with full tanks of happiness, right? So that you can have overflows. But you are coming with an empty tank of happiness and you're expecting someone to come and fill up yours with his own full tank. It doesn't work that way. I think that's a very big revelation to me. One can chase 1,000, but two can chase 10,000. Two can chase 10,000, but that is only possible when one is able to chase 1,000. And like he said, we focus more on the two chasing 10,000 and we leave the one chasing 1,000 alone. Apparently, it's not important, but that's the foundation, that's the building block. So you have to be able to have value before you look for someone to give value to you or someone you can join hands with and give more value. What are you bringing to the table? Who are you? I mean, how many are you chasing? Are you even chasing 100? Yeah, it doesn't make sense in my opinion. In fact, in everybody's opinion, it doesn't make sense. So love for yourself, like you said, you have to be willing to give what you want to give others to yourself. So you give yourself time, you pay attention to yourself, you pay attention to your personal growth. You give yourself energy and you give yourself what money. You have to be willing to invest in yourself so that other people can find you worthy of investing in. And like I said before in one of my posts on Facebook, that it is easier for someone who is um, working on himself, someone who is on the floor and trying to get up. It's easier for that person to be helped. It's easier for someone to come and help the person to get up than someone who is just rolling on the floor with hands like nothing is wrong with you, but you want someone to come and help you get up. You're not even making any effort, right? So you have to actually be chasing your 1,000 before someone comes to help you chase what? 10,000. That was very, very profound. Is anybody finding this really, really valuable. If you have, give it to me in the comments. I want to see it in the comments. Keep your questions coming, please. Keep your questions coming. I think we have about a couple of minutes left to the end of this stream while we wait for our guests to join. I see your comments, I see your questions. Thank you for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. And can we go back a little bit to what he said early on about people being multidimensional? People being multidimensional. It helps you, that understanding will help you to clarify your relationships. And also, he mentioned boundaries, which you know that I'm very big on, right? You know the part of this person that you want to relate with, and you know your boundaries. You're able to communicate that. You're clear on the kind of relationship you have, what you want to have with this person, and that helps you to create healthy boundaries, because you don't want to be relating with a mentor and you are giving off friendship, vibes. That is going to if that relationship is sustained, it's only by the grace of God, right? You want to, you cannot be looking for friendship with someone and you are giving off the acquaintance or the romantic partner vibes. You don't do that. Clarification in clarity in relationships helps you to know what boundaries to set for yourself and for the person you want to relate with. Our guest is back on. Let's bring him on. Um, welcome back, sir. Welcome back.
Yeah, thank you so much. I don't know if this is any better. I'm trying to switch
Oh,
from,
it's a lot
I
better
don't know, for
now.
some reason
Okay,
always show
it
any
was
better.
a lot better.
Is this any better?
Yes, it is. It is. Welcome back,
Okay.
sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Great to be here. So
Yeah.
I was talking about, yeah, I was talking about what I call the weight of leadership. I think
Yeah.
Chinaza really sincerely right. I really think that what causes that kind of mindset of I don't need anybody is an inability to realize who you are in the grand scheme
Mm,
of things. Now, you've not yet realized how important your role is to this world, how huge the responsibility is on you. You feel it's just create a product, sell it, and make money and take care of your family. That may be something that is needed in this immediate phase. See, life is in phases, really.
yeah.
Life is in phases. And it is not in the phase where you need people that you should look for people. You will need people, sure.
Hmm.
You will. That one is sure. So you may be in a phase right now where the only thing you're doing is, oh, let me at least have money for stuff for my family. Let me at least raise some money for my fees. Let me at least, and that's okay. That's where you are. That's where you're at this time, right? So don't think that
Wow.
because you are now, you're there at this point. Do not think that when, as God lifts you, you rise to higher levels. All right. Don't think that the weight of your full responsibility, okay, will not demand people. And it's not at that time that you need to start looking for these people. You don't look for people when you need to use them. Let me be sincere with you, right? While I said let me be sincere with you as if I was there, we thought I want to say. So while Jesus was on earth, he didn't really need the disciples at that point as much as he needed them after he left. Do you know that? While he was on
Yeah.
his earth walk, the things that he did, the major things he did were things that he did himself, right? But he needed them more when he left. But before he needed them, he had to first create that value-driven relationship with them. People are needed. If God can need people, there's no way that you yourself as a person don't need people. So if you think you don't need people, the issue is not that thing. The issue is you've not yet realized your position in the grand scheme of things. You are special. You are valued. You are a unique part of this grand blueprint. there is a generation that is rising that because you are a part of this session, you are actually a part of it. But there's a possibility that kings can walk barefooted while servants ride on horses because they do not know. A lack of knowledge of who you are in the grand scheme of things can keep you in a position where you are not supposed to be a heir as long as he's a child. All right? It's no different from a servant. But when he's subject to authority, subject to teachers, those that can teach him, those that can expose to him his reality and his capacity as king, then he will be promoted to that point of kingship. You may not be a king right now, but you were born king and priest. You just need to reveal, know who you are, realize it, and walk towards it. And while you're walking, know that a king cannot be a king of nobody. So you need people. A priest cannot be a priest on behalf of nobody. You need a congregation. You are a king and priest. Kings are in charge of people. Priests intercede for people. So not saying that you don't need people is just a misconception of who you are. Don't think small of yourself. You may be small, you may seem to be small right now, but trust me, eyes have not seen, ears have not heard what is being made out of you. So out of the earthly vessels, out of who you are, there's an excellency that is being formed by sessions like this, by things that come to you, the words that come to you. There's something that is beginning to burn on your inside that allows you want to maximize the person that you are. And you have to accept it. Don't reject it. Don't resist that claim. When people say, oh, you're this, you're that, don't think we're just motivating you. It is the reality of things. And every other thing is supposed to conform to this reality. Everything. Everything is supposed to come under the obedience of this reality. So yes, you are not yet there, but don't wait until you get there. You are king, you are priest. Kings are kings over people. Priests intercede for people. So yes, you need people.
Wow. Wow. This made me to think of it in this direction. If you think that you can do it all alone, you're actually insulting yourself and what you're here to do because, like you said, your purpose is bigger than you and you cannot do it alone. You need people to help you to do it. Wow. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
That is so powerful. Thank you very much for that insight. Can we also talk a little bit about people who want to just connect with others? I don't know if you can hear me. Oh my God. I think his network is acting up again. Welcome back. I was about to ask, what do you also say to people who they all want to connect with people who are higher up? They want to connect up. How about connecting with people that are in their status and the people that are below? I mean, not below that, people that they have gone ahead of. I mean, are there roles that these other relationships can play, or must we always connect to people who are higher up? Must we always strive to um, connect with people who have gone ahead of us? Is there a need for us to connect also with people who are, let's say, peers or within our status, and people that are below or coming after us, or yeah, after
Okay.
us?
All right. Yeah. So there are actually three levels of relationship that everybody needs.
Mm-hmm.
Like by needs, I mean it's a necessity. Okay, it's something that is needed. I mean, if you don't have any of these relationships, because there are some people that don't have, especially the third one. So the first kind of relationships are from those that are in quotes above you. These are people you learn from. I call them people you learn from. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's referred to people that are above you. I used to use learn from because sometimes these people can even be younger than you. That's the truth.
Yeah.
The people
Yeah.
that are in quotes above you can be younger. So it's people that you learn from. That's the first kind of relationship. The relationship with people that you learn from. Younger, older, your age mates, birthday mates, doesn't matter, but you're learning from these people. That's the first set
Mm-hmm.
of relationship you need to have. Remember, I say don't assume it. If they ask you who are the people you're learning from and you cannot list at least one, two, three people, that means you don't have a relationship at all. You don't assume it. You must know the people you're learning from. There may be a lot, but at least there must be a specific set of people that among the many, these 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 are specific. That's the first. Then the second set of relationships are people you learn with. People that they're called your peers. You're learning with them. You people attend the same kinds of events. You people are value driven in the same way. You read the same kind of books. You watch the same kind of movies. If they check your YouTube search histories, it's similar. Not that people are searching at the same time, but they look at this one, they see the person searching this type of things, but they look at not like one person's search history is just some certain kinds of songs, and the other person is Jim Rohn and the rest. You're not learning with the person. It's not together.
Yeah.
It's not your peer anymore. So peers are people that you're learning with. So don't say that, oh, because we are birthday mates or we attend the same class, that doesn't mean the person is your peer. All right. So who are you learning with? Those are your peers. Those are the people that when Chinaza said share this session with someone, those are the people that you go to your DM and say, how far have you joined? You send them the link because they're your peers. They're those you're learning with. You need to have this kind of people. You need to have it. And why this is important is this, right? People are so fixated on the influencers above them that they lose sight of the influencers at their level. Because everybody that's an influencer right now was once unknown. So there are people that are also the influencers of 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now are currently people that are literally your classmates or people that are in the same school with you or in the same class with you. Every influencer had classmates, but it's not all the classmates that will be able to relate to them at the same level. There's something I always say that this is the best time, this is the cheapest time to add value to anybody. There's some people that right now, just sending them a link is the best value you can give to them and they will appreciate it so much. Just sending them a link. There's some people that just a little bit of kindness, airtime, a little gift, supporting a book project. That's very little things that doesn't cost you so much. This is the cheapest time you can have to add value to anybody. Some people, what they need is just for you to talk to them and they will remember it for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
All right? So that's the second level. The third level is people that you are learning from you. In quotes, there are people below you, but I prefer to use the word people that are learning from you. You need to have them. And don't say that, who am I that people will learn from me? No, there's always something you know that someone else is struggling with. There's something you have achieved that someone else will do anything to achieve. So who are you learning from? Who are you learning with? And who is learning from you? These are the 3 levels of relationships you need to have. It gives you that ability to become a balanced person because you're able to feel yourself, you're able to have a relationship with people at your level, those that you're learning with, and you're also able to give to others and help them become better so that you can play an intentional role in the success story of someone else. So when someone is saying, oh, this is how I rose, this is how I became better, this is how my life changed, they can say they had an encounter with you. And you make yourself a vessel to be used by God to transform the lives of people.
Yeah. I totally agree with you. I totally agree with you. Someone said the 33% principle or law in relationships.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for that.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Can we talk about how to actually nurture relationships? Because some persons are able to uh, start relationships, but they don't know how to keep it going, right? Some people have people that they met and they wanted to build relationships with them, but how to actually keep in touch, how to nurture that relationship, how to ensure that it doesn't die, how to keep watering it. They don't know how to, and so they end up either losing that relationship out of ignorance or for any other reason. So how do we nurture
Okay.
relationships?
Okay. All right. So I think that there are 2 words that we use. The first I've used before. The second one is honor. So 2 major things. Number 1, communicate value. Number 2, communicate honor. And I'll explain a bit, right? So if you have a relationship with someone, you need to communicate some sort of value. Communicate that you value that relationship. How do you do that? The things I've said before. You need to. It's sometimes you may not need to talk to the person every day or every week or even every month, But when it's time to have a conversation, you're able to give the person time. You're able to do something for someone, energy, do something for somebody. There's someone that some of you may know her, Madam Landlady Mercy Okeke. When I was relocating to Lagos, she literally went out of her way completely to make sure that I have a place. So if those of you that are familiar with Lagos, you know that getting a house is like something else. It's terrible trying to get a
It is.
place. It's a lot of work. But
Yeah.
she literally lifted that burden from me completely. That's not something I can forget. But that's energy.
Yeah.
It took her a lot. I can't even imagine what she went through. But that's you communicating value as energy. You can communicate
Yeah.
value as money. If the person is doing something, even if you're not registering for it yourself, you can pay for someone else. You can give some sort of support. I was going to do a digital business bootcamp in Lagos, and there's someone, Raymond, the person that organizes this amazing retreat in Rwanda, right? And he was like, oh,
Yeah.
let him support in a way, let him buy food to my volunteers, for example. He didn't have to do that, but he did it. That is a way of nurturing. You communicate value in a way. Your time, your energy, your money. Just do something that shows that you value the person. Then the second word is honor. In fact, honor is the most important because honor is the key to access. If you want to open a door, lock a door, the key is honor. And what is really honor? Honor is recognition of difference and rewarding of difference. So you're recognizing that there is some sort of difference between this person and you. You're not assuming that because people are now talking, people are now mates. No,
Yeah.
people are not mates. You're recognizing this. So you're able to honor. And honor is not just upwards. You're able to honor people at your level. There's a level of honor I have for Chinaza, for example. Also able to honor people even that are learning from you. So you're not the fact that they're learning from you doesn't mean that that's where they'll be all their lives. No.
Yeah.
In fact, if they're learning from you, you should know that anybody that has the opportunity to learn from me closely, I am so looking forward to the person's future. Once you are put under me, it's a sign that you'll be great. And I'm saying
Yeah.
this with every conviction. Once you're put under me, there are people that come under you and there are people that are put under you. Once you are put under me, it's a sign that you'll be great because there's something that needs to be nurtured. So those that are learning from me, there's a level of honor I give to them because I know that their future is so bright. Some of them are already experiencing it. They're already seeing snippets of it, and this is just. I tell them it's just the beginning. I'm not encouraging them. I'm saying what it is. It is just the beginning.
Yeah.
Don't worry. It's just you will see because where we're going is this journey is still very far, Chinaza, for all of us. So we
It
have
is.
to communicate that honor to every single person. So two things: if you want to maintain and even grow your relationships, um, communicate value in the three ways I've explained, and communicate honor to these people. If you honor someone, you won't just talk about them anywhere. In fact, you would even defend
Yeah.
them when things have been said about them. All right. So that honor helps you to move as high as possible. Yeah.
Wow. Something that could have taken a very long time to talk about, you just compress it into 2 words. That's not easy to come by. Thank you very much, Faye. So let's go to the comments and see what questions people are asking. Maybe take about 2 questions or 3 questions from the comments before we call this a night. Guys, are you gaining value from this? Are you gaining value from this? Personally, I'm learning a whole lot, and I'm still going to come back to this video to learn afresh because Kai, the room are here. Okay, so I'm going through the comments to see um the questions that we have here. So I picked the most valuable. Well, all of them are valuable, but we can't take all of them, right? So someone is asking, what value can I give to a pastor mentor, sir?
Okay. All right. So for that kind of relationship, okay, I've talked about three things already. Um, I would want to emphasize on most likely the second point, which is energy. For a pastor mentor, in quotes, right, there are some things that you can identify that can be lifted from him. So when I mean energy most of the times talks also about skills. I remember when I started my mentorship relationship with my mentor, Elisha Marman. I remember I went to him and I had listened to him speak, profoundly, and I was like, oh my god, if I can just learn how to speak like this man, I am made.
Mm-hmm.
You know those type of speaking again that you this and you be like, oh my god, what type of powerful, just like some of you are feeling right now, what kind of powerful session is this? Oh my god. That is very good. And I went to
Yeah.
him and I'm like, sir, I want to learn how to speak like you. And he told me something that changed my life. He said that Fee, I will not teach you how to speak. I will teach you how to live, and then you speak from your life. I'll not teach you how to
Mm.
speak. I'll teach you how to live, and then you will speak from your life. And that's what he did with
Wow.
me. He just helped me work on my life, and now I'm able to speak from the abundance because it's out of life that you give life, and our words are literally
Yes.
spirit and life. So
Yeah.
that was what he did for me. Okay. And why am I saying this? I'm using this example because I had to then go back for me to establish this relationship and give value. I had to then ask myself, what are the things that this person needs? And I found out that he speaks at some events, but there is no record of it whatsoever. Why? Nobody's taking pictures of him. Nobody's doing anything. I had to go and learn. I had to go and learn video editing. Some people think I just learned it for nothing. No, I learned video editing to serve. I didn't need it
To
myself.
serve.
By then, I was not speaking. I wasn't speaking anywhere, so I didn't need to learn video editing. I learned photography, mobile photography, camera photography. He didn't have a camera then, so I started with mobile photography. I learned it for him. I learned video editing, videography. I learned things around content creation for him. Energy. So I identified what he may need, and then I learned the skills that was around the skills that were related to that. And those skills have made me, as at then, I didn't know I'll be a digital marketer, all these things I'm doing right now, public speaking. I didn't know those things. But now, when I'm having a digital marketing conversation with a client, I remember I was speaking with a client in Canada, I think 2 weeks back. We started the project now. And when I was talking holistically. So now I have a holistic view of marketing, of the digital world.
Yeah.
My expertise, for example, in talking about honor, right? I knew I was going to have this session with Chinaza, and she doesn't know, but one of the reasons why I shifted it to this week is because I knew that this session will exceed 10 o'clock, and I have my own sessions by 10 o'clock on Thursdays. So what did I do?
Wow.
My session was recorded today before time. So at the moment, if you go to my channel, I am live, but I'm also live here.
Amazing.
So I have a pre-recorded session that is currently going live on my channel while I am physically live here. So it's as if I am live
Oh
there. In
my.
fact, I'll be asking people there if they have any question, they should put it in chat, but they'll think I'm there, but I'm here. Why? Because I honor this relationship. So it's a very interesting stuff.
Thank
And
you.
this is a
Thank
skill that I
you.
learned in service. It's a skill that I learned in service. You understand? So service helps you to improve your skills. So learn the skills that you need and use it to serve. I think I'll just stop there while I take the next question.
That is perfect. That is perfect because when people look at people that are high up, they're like, how can I even serve? I mean, this person seems to have it all figured out, or
Yeah,
this person seems to have everything. So I don't think there's anywhere I can come into serve.
yeah,
But if you actually look, there's this quote that says every king has a need. If you actually look, you see that even if, just like Fee, he didn't have what his mentor needed, what he felt his mentor needed. So he had to go and learn just to serve. And I've learned a skill, actually, one skill just to serve someone that I really, really honor. And nobody knows these things. Even the person you're doing it for doesn't even know that you had to go learn this so it can be valuable to him or her. But the truth is, when you learn to serve, when you learn to honor people, you're actually investing in yourself. Because where those skills will take you, when you will need those skills, you will not even have to bat an eye because you're already competent in the place of service before it gets to you actually using it for yourself. That is so powerful, Faith. Thank you very, very much. Thank you. I'm supposed to project the questions from this phone. For some reason, I'm not able to see previous questions. So I'll read from
uh,
this one. And so Pavenio Japan is okay. Okay. Before then, I saw a question by Somtochukwu who says, please, Sir Stephen, can you share more about the value you need to possess before you can give value? I think you shed a
okay.
bit more light on that, but just a little bit more.
Okay, let me just speak a bit more because now that point can be it can be a paralyzer for a lot of people. And by paralyzer, I mean something that keeps you stagnant. So you feel like, oh,
Mm,
I do not yet have the value to give, so I'm just going to stay back. No, don't feel that way. Now, for every level that you are, there is some sort of value that you can give. Remember, that's why I said there are three things. when I say this
Yeah.
treating, some people just go straight to money and camp with money, or go straight to energy and say, oh, I'm not skillful. But what about time? Sometimes
Yeah.
if you can give time to someone that you want to have a relationship with, that time you give the person can give you, maybe be able to give you both energy and money. And by energy I mean skills and stuff. There's some people that if you
Yeah.
give sufficient levels of your time to, I keep saying this, right? There was a time that I read every single post that John Obidi has ever made on Head Start
You're
Africa,
not
the ones that he
alone.
left.
You are not alone.
Exactly. Do you know how that's because I was reading it intently, so it took me almost I think over a week or so because I
Yeah.
will read it, I will look at the way he's writing it, I'll look at how he's putting it, and I'll read both what he's saying and what he's not saying. Everything. That was time. Then after some time,
Yeah.
someone will come to my comments and say, "Oh, you write like John Obita." I'll be like, "Of course, of course. It has to be that way. Of course." That was what
Yes.
happened to
Yes.
me. Why? Because I gave my time, Chinaza. It's the time that you gave. It's the time
Yeah.
that made that happen. So some people
Yeah.
are not yet, they've not yet given time, but they'll say, oh, I don't have money to give and just no. That's why I say there are three values. Don't just focus on the other two. In fact, if you use the first one very well, it's possible that the first one will give you the other two.
Yeah.
If you give the person your time, you're reading the person's books, you're going to the person's channel. Someone came to me and said, oh, I want you to mentor me. And I was like, how many of my videos have you watched on YouTube?
Exactly.
How
Yeah.
many? That's what shows your seriousness. I'm not saying you're not, and I really, to be sincere, so my acceptance of mentorship is a lot of factors. The highest being spiritual, right? So I was already given the ease to, okay, you can mentor this one. But when I asked that question, I was like, nah, this is not happening. So I had to say, go
Yeah.
back, go and watch these things, and maybe if you come back and I still have that release, maybe. But if not, time has passed, and that's why time and chance, happens to them all, right? So you
Yeah.
have to go on all the things that the person has available. You've not yet gone through the free things the person have. There's sometimes to do those days. When someone comes and say, oh, please mentor me, I'll tell the person, go and read all my posts from 2018. Some of them will never come back. Some of them will never come back. And that's how I used to see those that are serious and those that are not.
Yeah. Yeah,
Some of
because they're
them will
not even
never
willing
come back.
to put in the work, and they want the access of time, and they want the gift
Yes.
of time and your resources.
So see what some people will do. Some people will just go and start liking them. How will you like one post and like the other one 2 seconds apart? Two,
Exactly.
sec- 2 seconds apart. That means you didn't read it. You just saw the picture. We have to be sincere with ourselves
Yeah.
here. Like, what are you I'm monitoring my phone. I'm seeing what you're doing. 2 seconds ago, you liked the other one. 3 seconds, you liked the next one. You now come and say you've read through my post. I'll look for one of those years and say, tell me about what I said in this, and then you have troubles. That's where the
Yeah.
trouble. So if you want to learn, if you really want to have a relationship with someone, don't forget there are three things to give. Don't say, oh, I don't have money now. These people's classes are expensive. Yes, but what about their books? These people's
Hmm.
courses are expensive, but what about their ebooks? These people's some of you have not even joined their free community. Ha! They have a flyer,
See,
you
let
won't
me
share,
tell
you won't do
you.
anything.
So
There's always
I,
something to do.
you remember the hangout I held in Lagos here at the Lekki
Yeah.
Conservation Center.
Mm-hmm.
A young lady
Yeah.
who is a first year student at Delta State University. I didn't even know. She told me she's a first year student, but she had to use her pocket money to pay for that hangout just to ensure that she came,
Oh.
right? And I thought that maybe she is a student of Unilag or Lagos State University. Do you know that on Friday, this young lady had to enter bus from Delta State to Lagos, got to her sister's apartment around 1 a.m. in the night, and still came very early to the hangout. When she told me, she didn't only do that, she came with a gift, a portrait or something. When she told me, I was like, Dimo, how did you do that? She said she just wanted to see me. We didn't talk there because there was no space for us to talk, but it has ingrained her in my heart that at any point she needs anything from me, I would have no reason to say no. And you see people who can afford it, who live in Lagos, but they couldn't even part with money, and they say they want access to Chinaza Favour. Like these things are not magic. You've not paid the price and you want access. It doesn't work that way, and I hope people really, really understand that, you know. It's it's just amazing. Paveno has a question here. How do I free myself around the role model? I sometimes don't know how to relate with people I look up to. I think
Okay.
you've gone through this
All
too.
right. So this is quite it's quite personal. So it's I think it depends on two things. This is like it's now a relationship, so there may not be templates. So it depends on you. It depends on the
Yeah,
role model because there's some role models that if you miss, like for me, for example, I even try to look for ways that people that are my mentees or people that are learning from me can call me by name, but it's hard. Like you keep saying, okay, just call me
sir.
Fee, and then they're still using star and stuff. Then there's other people that if you mistakenly call them not don't no, it's not even sir. You don't call them doctor. It's not sir. Sir is not enough.
Ah.
They have a PhD. If you don't call them doctor or prof, you're finished. So I think this is a very situation based question. So depending on you and depending on the
Mm-hmm.
person, all right. So what dimension of the person are you relating with, and what kind of relationship does that dimension require from both of you? So first analyze that, and then that will help you know, how to relate with the person.
Wow, wow. Mr. Fee, we've spent an hour 35 minutes here, and it doesn't even feel as if we've gone anywhere. It just feels like we're just getting started. Because why not? It is you, and you always bring value to the table every single time. Thank you very much for doing this with me. I will be taking more questions because I need to go and rest. Thank you very much, guys. If you have been gaining value from this, please drop the fire emoji. We have to let our guest go. Thank you, Fee, for doing this with us. And if you have anything to say to Fee, just tell him, tell him, tell him. He needs to know. Tell him. Abiola Shitu says, thanks a lot, Safi, for tonight's conversation. It was just amazing. Whew, like I said before, I'm coming back to watch this video afresh because there are some salient points you made that I need to take note of and work on. Thank you very much. I see your fire emoji. Nonya Rich, we don't have time for more questions anymore. So maybe next time. I see your fire emojis. Keep them coming. Thank you, Mr. Fee. Amazing time tonight. Yeah, amazing, amazing time. Thank you very much. God bless you. I joined and I was fired. Okay, you were fired too. Thank you, Mr. Fee. I can't even say thank you enough for doing this with me. I really appreciate you. And for the
Awesome.
sacrifice, I had no idea. My goodness.
I
Thank you.
know.
It means
I
so
know.
much more than you can even imagine. Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
You're welcome. Like, I want them to do something. So if you're watching the session, right, so take a screenshot of the both. Like I can't just dress up and come out in public like this, and you will not take a screenshot. So take a screenshot of this particular this, these two reflections of God's glory that's on your screen right now, and then tag us on Instagram. Let us know exactly what you learned and what is your take home from this session. Take a wonderful screenshot. Make
Yeah.
sure I'm looking finer than Chinaza in that screenshot, and then it's great enough. Put it on Instagram and then tag me Fistiven Fiisthen, and then also tag Chinazar on Instagram. Let us know what you learned. I will be reposting some of those screenshots, and then we can have a conversation after that. But yeah, this has been really, really amazing. It's been a great time hanging out with all of you. Best way to connect with me is always Instagram. I don't know why people think that WhatsApp
Yeah.
is easier. I have over, I don't know, I can't even count how many chats I have now on WhatsApp.
Let's
But
not
best way
go
to
there.
connect
Let's
with me
not go
is
there.
is Instagram. So yeah, connect with me on Instagram at FeastTV. You get to talk with me there. But tag me, let me know that you're coming from Chinensa.
Yeah,
So thank
and
you so
before
much.
you go off to, are there courses that we can buy from you? Are there services that you
Uh,
render that we can
okay,
gain
so I,
from?
I I think I think that the best way to get to know everything would be to connect with me. So just come on Instagram, check my bio. You'll see a link there. Just
Yeah.
sign up on that link. Yeah, so sign up on the link on my Instagram bio, and then you'll get access to literally everything that I do. So I'm a growth and digital
Okay.
marketing professional. So you can get
Yeah.
access to things that are around my courses, programs. I'm having an event coming up in Ibadan in next month. For those of you in Ibadan, so you can get to be a part of that. I'll get to talk more about that as time goes on. Yeah, so I'll be having an event in Ibadan soon. I had one in Lagos, still the digital business bootcamp. So if you have someone in Ibadan, September 2022, because I know that people will get to watch this over and over again. For someone will come
Mm-hmm.
in 2023 and go to Ibadan and wait for me. So September 2022, I'm going to have an event in Ibadan. So if you know someone there or if you're there, we can definitely get to connect physically there. But apart from that, go to my Instagram, Fistephen, Fistephen, and we can get to take it up from there.
Okay. I hope you guys are taking the shots, or should we position well? Should we pose well so that you can take the best angles? Thank you very much, Fee. Thank you very much. I'll let
Right.
you go now. All right.
My
Thank you.
pleasure. Thank you. Yeah, bye.
Yeah. Bye. Whew. What a session. What a session, guys. What a session. I knew I wasn't making any mistake when I decided that, okay, Fee is going to have this conversation with us. And I'm so glad that that he came on because so many insights, so many things I thought I knew about relationships that I didn't know, and I'm learning them for the first time here. And I'm sure many of you also are learning these things for the first time here tonight too. So thank you very much for being here. Abigail says, I enjoyed every bit of the session. Same here. See me, I didn't even feel like we had gotten started at all. Thank you so much too. Thank you to every one of you who joined. I love you. I appreciate you. And I also don't want to keep you here for a longer time too. Thank you very much for staying for 1 hour 36 minutes according to our time here. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for just showing up, for keeping everywhere lively and bubbly. I love and appreciate you all. And I'll see you next week. Same channel, same time, same station. I'll be having another important conversation. Before then, I'll let you know who will be having, if we're having a guest, and what topic we will be discussing. So, good night, everyone. Have a wonderful night rest, and I'll see you next week. Don't forget, if you've not subscribed, subscribe to my channel. If you've not liked this video, don't forget to do so. And if you've not shared, it is a very big disservice that you're doing to your friends and families for not gaining this value that was shared here tonight. So thank you very much for coming to Honest Conversations with Chinaza Favour. I'll see you next time. Good night.